So what most people need to do is once you check those boxes off the list, then you actually need to be building better habits rather than trying to quote unquote build more magical awareness.
Yeah, I guess I just get really kind of tunnel vision. I know that I do. I mean, I've just recently started watching my own replays.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I'm like, oh my God, what were you doing, man? You know? And it just and then I'll go into into a real match and be like, okay, like you need to pay attention, you know? And pretty soon,
Right.
like it's halftime, and I'm like, you were just on autopilot. You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
And maybe partially that's just a little bit like the way that I'm wired, but I want to try to, you know, stop that.
Sure, sure. Well, we can work at it in two ways. You can set up your environment in a better, more positive way. Like you can make sure, like whenever you're frustrated or tilted, you're going to be more tunneled, right? Just psychologically, right? Whenever you're not getting enough sleep or you're tired, or stressed, you're going to be a little bit more tunneled and a little bit less focused. Whenever you've been playing for a long period of time, you're slowly going to get more tunneled and less aware. But that's the more environmental, psychological things here. The other way to look at it is building habits that help you to build more awareness just because it's a habit. For example, if you are, let's say, frustrated when you drive, you're going to be tunneled, right? Which is what makes it more dangerous. However, I would rather have somebody who's a little bit frustrated driving, who has experience driving, than somebody who's very alert and aware, but who's 15 years old behind the wheel, right? Because that person doesn't have the habits of checking side view mirrors, rear view mirrors, being aware of, you know, the periphery and things like that. See, it's not, oh, the 15-year-old is less aware than the adult. Actually, it's the other way around. But the older, more experienced person has better awareness habits. Do you kind of see what I'm saying? There's a difference between awareness and awareness habits. Awareness habits are, I know before the fight starts to turn around, or before the fight starts, I'm looking for my threats, or I'm aware of ults, right? The enemy ults that they have. Awareness threats are things that you can practice even if you're tunneled or distracted or frustrated. You might forget them more often, but they're kind of like autopilot. You do them without even thinking, right? General awareness, people will go, oh, I need to work on my awareness. Well, get more sleep, right? Don't be tilted, right? And then that's, once you check those boxes off the list, or like nutrition or whatever else, there's really not a lot you can do about it. So what most people need to do is once you check those boxes off the list, then you actually need to be building better habits rather than trying to quote unquote build more magical awareness. The reason why pros have great awareness is because they have so many things that they do in terms of like checking their periphery, checking their flanks, checking the reload, checking the status of their cooldowns, that they do automatically. I worked with an eye tracking professional who works with esport teams about a year ago. And the eye tracker was a really insightful thing that we used for a little bit for coaching London. And one of the cool things about it is it showed those awareness habits that you wouldn't even think about. Like watching pro players, they're always aware of what's on their left and what's on their right? They're never like only focused on what's in front of them. And they're always like, whenever there was downtime, checking the status of their cooldowns, bottom right. Like you'd see their eyes flick to the bottom right on the video, right? And that's something that a lot of low rank, mid rank players don't have those habits built in yet. And you can get those habits by just playing the game a lot, but you can get them faster by actually recognizing them, isolating them, and then practicing them, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, no, I mean 100%. That's like, I mean, I feel like I have learned, you know, it took me forever to realize that, you know, like after a fight, you can press tab and see if they switched to like Hanzo.
That's another example right there of an awareness habit, right? Oh, I didn't know they were on Hanzo. I need to work on my awareness. No, you need to work on pressing tab, right?
Right.